Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, it's all about trout. I've been lucky enough to be given some trout by my friend, and in today's video guys, I'm going to be filleting the trout and make sure we have no waste. It is very important as a prepper guys to know how to deal with the fresh produce. We talked about it in the many videos guys. It's very easy currently to rely on things that are available in the supermarkets because everything is already pre-prepared. However, talking about the SHCF scenario, is very, very important how to deal with the raw produce. We need to know how to fillet fishes. We need to know how to deal with the fresh meat, and of course to be able to cook with the really raw basic ingredients. It is quite also actually important to note guys that buying the fresh fish from the local markets, it's actually cheaper than buying a fillet from the supermarket, because I witnessed many times when people are filleting a fish in the supermarkets, especially when I had the salmon on the deal, there is a lot of fish goes to waste, and I don't like it. Every time I used to buy salmon around the winter time in the supermarkets, I always buy the whole salmon and then fillet that myself, because the amount of fish that goes to waste when they do it, it's absolutely ridiculous. So the point of this video, you guys, I'm gonna make sure there is nothing wasted from our fish. In no way, guys, I am an expert of filleting a fish, okay? But the point is knowing, guys, it's giving it a go. It's knowing the basic steps of how to do this and how to do this safely, and then to make sure you minimize your waste. So, guys, without further ado, let me turn the camera around and let's fillet the fish. So guys, first things first, so this is our lovely trout. As you can see guys, the eyes on the fish are very clear. This is one of the main indicators to show you that the fish is very fresh. And of course, secondly is a smell. Fresh fish normally just smells a little bit of the sea, nothing more, nothing less. If the fish really started to smell fishy guys, you know that it's not fresh and it's been sitting somewhere for a while. So nonetheless guys, right, let's get this started. As I said, I'm not professional guys, I'm not teaching you how to fillet it, I'm just doing this because I need to do it, and at the same time, well, you ask for more interesting videos like that, so there we are. So first things first guys, we need to gut the fish. So all we're doing guys is to make an incision, okay, at the bottom of the tummy, and just put your knife through it. There we go. So you can see all the nasty stuff there. Get this out. Cut the end off, and it's attached in there, so just put your knife through that and separate it all. There you go, get rid of that. So just like that, we see all the guts have gone. So now guys, the idea is, there's a couple of ways I've seen people do this, but, so you know that the rib cage, it goes all the way up the top, so you've got the most of the meat on either side on the top. So the idea is guys, you can either do incision here and then drag your knife across it, or you can basically snap the head, go from the inside and do the underneath side first. I seem to prefer to doing it this way, although I still don't always get this perfect because it is a knack and you do have to kind of practice this a lot. But nonetheless, if I just turn this around so it's more convenient for me. So the idea is we make an incision and you stop when your knife actually touches the bones. And then the idea is you tilt your knife, okay, you find that happy point of the, let's cut that through, happy point of the angle, so you're happy you're kind of gonna skim on the top of the bone, and you're trying to glide the knife across it, and it doesn't always comes up really nicely, so your best bet, just do the best as you can. So there we are, I got two halves in there, not too bad of an effort, not perfect, but not too bad. I'm gonna go and do this from this side. Okay, right, get rid of that. Not get rid of, but put that aside. So, okay, right, let's do this one first. So here, okay, we'll have a bones that runs across the bottom of the belly. All right, so the idea is, guys, we're trying to cut them off. Again, the fish is ever so delicate, and it's very hard. Try to come as close to the bones as possible. But I imagine that it is, it's a sort of skill that you learn over the years, which I'm yet to master. But the point is, guys, I'm doing the best I can. Okay, so obviously I've got the fins there as well, so. Right, don't throw this away, just put this aside in the pot. So, the belly bones have gone. Just get rid of that. Okay, so you can see here that's not bad of an effort. Okay, there are bones in here which we'll have to pin bone using some tweezers. Anyway, I'll get the tweezers to show you that. But nonetheless, guys, so that's the first half a fish. And the same thing, guys, we need to tidy up this one. Okay, we still got second part of belly bones here. So again, gently just cut away. Okay. Let's just get rid of that. Okay, so belly bones are gone. Again, we're going to pin bone this side as well. I left a bit of spine in here, but here we go. Tidy it up a bit. Okay. Right, so cut the tail off. Right, and there we are, let's just go and get them pin boned. So guys, as the pin boning, I like to use things like that. They're like a tea bag holder thing, I think. So anyway, yeah, and get yourself some wet tissue. The idea is find the bones, okay, you can just fill them with your fingers and then squash that and pull the bones out. Do try to go with the grain of the fish, right? So if I show you an example, if you grab hold of that, see the grain goes that way, so we'll pull it out that way. Okay, and if I did it the other way around, say if I were to pull bone that way, we're tearing the meat. There's nothing wrong with that, but it just kind of ruins the aesthetics of, you know, fish. I know we're not here for aesthetics, but nonetheless, if you go with it, they just come out easier, much easier. So guys, here we are, our fillets are done. It's not the best of efforts, but considering, guys, it's not something I do for the living, I'm pretty happy with that. Some professionals might have done this, well, not might, they would have done this quicker and better with a little bit less waste, but it's again, guys, as I said, I'm not here kind of to teach you how to do this, I just showing you how you could do it. Anybody could really do this if you just know kind of the basic understanding or ways of going around about it. So nonetheless, we're talking about the waste, okay? And waste is we do not like. So first of all, okay, with any, however professional they are at filleting, there also be things like a head and tails and a skin if you decided to skin your fish. Before cooking or before freezing that. So I've done half and half. I've done half of the fillets that have been skinned and some fillets that are not. Again, so first things I'm gonna do, guys, right? We talk about the minimizing waste. Let me just get that before I get my hands dirty. Things like, obviously, the fish heads, okay? And the stuff when we trying to strip the bone, you can see here, guys, it's not, you know, the best of efforts, but you can see it's pretty good, but nonetheless there's a lot of fish meat on here, and if you just try to cut this with a knife, it is a little bit difficult to get the meat off. So I normally do, guys, right, and things like, okay, little tail I cut off, I collect all of the things that are or have a lot of meat on them, I chuck them on the foil, and obviously because I've got two fishes I probably have to do this twice. And literally, something like this I wouldn't bother because it's got literally pretty much just all bone. But the places where I kind of messed up, so because I've done two fish, there's quite a lot of bits and bobs here. I'll just put them on the front, and a piece of foil. See, like tail as well. You think it's not a lot in there, but you'd be surprised. I'm gonna fold the foil in. Okay, sorry, because I've got dirty hands, but you just basically just cover it up, okay? Put a little bit of lemon in there if you wanted to, but chuck it in the oven for about 30 minutes, and I'll show you how easy it is to get extra meat, which we can then process into a fish fingers or anything else you might want to make from that. At the same time, if you decided to skin the fish, okay, you will have yourself a skin, okay? It depends on obviously how scaly the skin is, guys. You can descale that, just scrape the knife on the skin, and you can bake that. And trust me, guys, it is kind of, you got to love fish really, but that skin will become so crispy and so tasty, so it is absolutely lovely. So technically, if you do enjoy and you really want to push this no waste thing, put this again on the tray in the oven, this side up, and it will crisp up into lovely, lovely crisp. So without further ado, let me get all that processed into the oven, and I'll see you in about half an hour. So guys, our fish is ready. Just let it cool down slightly, because obviously it is really, really hot from the oven. But okay, have a look at that. Okay, this is my bad doing for not filleting it close enough, but look how much fish is coming off our bones. And what makes it easier, I said to you, when we do this raw, it's not possible to get every single bit of meat, or fish in fact, of the bones. However, after we put that through the oven, we're literally able to peel this off, and all the bones, majority bones, are literally getting left behind, which means, guys, we don't have much waste at all. Look at that. Just comes off. So as you can see, sorry to show you, that's lovely. Make sure your hands are clean, obviously. As you can see here, I've done this to show you guys can do this in the foil or in the glass dish with the lid. Depends on the size of what you have and how much fish do you have. But the same situation here, just like little cut off with the skin around it. Look at that. It's just little bits coming off. It's a little bit of tedious job to get the bits in, but the whole idea, guys, we're no wasting. So this is the tail. Okay, you can see all that meat here. And as well with the heads, I know if you're squeamish, don't look, but okay, there is a lot of meat in the heads here. And actually in some countries, certain fish, the cheeks are actually a delicacy. But you get meat there now. All that would have otherwise gone to waste. And see, and the bones, I just stay well in place. Okay. So guys, now, here we go. This is what we have left. You can see the fish bones are pretty much immaculate. Got a couple occasional bits left with the really massive bones, but this is not a big deal. But the main thing, look at that. All of that lovely, lovely goodness is just absolutely amazing. So this is genuinely what have been going in the bin. So guys, there'll be occasional, like now, a bone that might have escaped, but this is not a problem, okay? We're gonna make some fish fingers for kiddies. So let me turn the camera around and I'll show you what I do next. So guys, here we are. First of all, I wanted to show you the crispy skin as well. That has finished now. Okay, listen to that. Okay, and you got to love fish, like I said, is to have that, but it is superb. It's got very kind of depth of flavor, if that makes sense. But if you never tried if you never tried a crispy fish skin, I really strongly suggest that you do. You can see, guys, it does shrink inside a lot, like fish does as well. So here we are. Anyway, so our fish pieces are ready here. As I said to you guys, I'm going to be making a fish fingers for our little one. You might think, well, why on earth would you want to do that? Well, first of all, as you can see, we have quite a lot of fish left from the bones. Secondly, after obviously, guys, doing my research and about the food and things like this, apparently in a lot of fish fingers, although it does state it's cod fish, a lot of cod is actually now replaced with pollock. It's been quite a big hoo-ha a few years back, where companies, especially well, the fish companies and fish and chip shops been replacing cod with pollock because it was that much cheaper. On a naked eye, and then generally if you just guys like have fish and chips all the time, you might not even notice the difference. However, pollock is very cheap fish, and the worst thing, it actually feeds on sewage. And after my last video about the sewage and the sewage being dumped into the sea, knowing now that the fish in my kids' fish fingers could potentially be pollock that's eating a sewage full of chemicals and things, no thank you. So our little one is no longer consuming normal fish fingers. So this is one of the main reasons I'm going to be making my own. Similar reasons, guys, why I'm making her chicken nuggets from scratch as well, which I shared the video with you before. Nonetheless, stop talking. So this is the reason why we're doing this. So the fish, okay, go through with your hand, okay, and after you obviously separated it from the bones, go through with your hand, make sure your hands are super clean, and make sure there is no huge bones there, because some of them will be escaping. So make sure you take some that are a little bit too big. The small ones wouldn't be as much of a problem, but the big ones are must go. Don't be scared to make this into a puree, because this is in the end what I'm going to be doing that. And again, you're thinking, well, it's a little bit of a weird thing to do because I'm pretty much going to make a paste out of that. But when it comes to fish and myself, obviously safety for little ones, I've got to be really careful. So I really much rather put this through the phases and make sure that she still gets a fish and all the goodness out of it, but there's no risk of any bones in there for little ones. Again, it could be me being overly protective, but I really much rather make sure that it is totally safe to eat without me worrying about it. So now I'm going to load this and put this through a food processor. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit at a time. I've got the bowl here ready for it to go. So let me get the little bits in. That basically will tell me, after I've finished, sorry, it will make sure that I really haven't missed any bones, okay? And we'll blitz that into the paste. Okay, so as you can see, hopefully that literally becomes pretty much like a salmon pate. It's not salmon, but it's a trout. But nonetheless, I have to do this in stages because otherwise it'll end up just clogging the machine. Okay, we're gonna go again. See, still there's tiny ones, there's thin bones, but don't want them there. Go again. Okay. Yep, all done. And get this out. At this stage, it still won't hurt if you are overly cautious like me. It won't hurt again, guys, to just kind of go through just to make sure, but it is pretty much looks like it's a puree, so I'm happy with that. Right, next thing, okay, we're trying to bog this up and we're trying to make it stick together. So I've got here 2 little boiled potatoes. I've got 1 boiled carrot and 2 boiled parsnips. Hard boiled, okay, as the whole, you know, big chunks as they are. So now we're going to try to create a glue for our fish fingers, okay? So put the potatoes in there. Hopefully that's not too much. Let's get that all pureed in. Right. Okay, so puree is done. Again, you can make this too, if you wanted, with a little bit of chunks, depending how old your child is. You can leave a bit of chunks in, it wouldn't be any harm. So let me put that in here. Okay. And to be fair, I think the last potato was a bit overkill. Because the idea is we still want them to know that they are fish fingers. We don't want the vegetables to overtake the whole idea, because they're going to have the vegetables on the side anyway. So basically we have now fish and some veg. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly clear this up and we'll proceed to the next step. Okay guys, so next step, right? I've got some food grade gloves. Get them on. You don't have to, but it just makes the process a little bit easier. Okay, and we're now going to amalgamate this all together. Okay, and just gives you opportunity again to feel for any bones. Okay. I think because the fish was still quite moist and it's actually sticking rather well together, we don't actually need to add on the egg. But if you choose to, you can. If you need to make it more pliable, then absolutely. But as you can see, it shapes nicely into shapes. So, and the next thing is, guys, right, is you just simply just pinch off a little size, whatever size you choose to do. I'm gonna freeze them because the fish is already cooked. Okay, we don't need to worry about this. We can just freeze this on the tray. So, and then just shape your fingers. They're not going to be square, absolutely not, but they're homemade. And that's what that matters, okay? Try to make them square if you want to, nonetheless. So shape them up roughly into the fish finger. Dunk them in a bit of flour. Okay, make sure it's all nicely coated so they don't stick. And here we go, look at that. So it will look basically something like that. Okay. Because then you can air fry them or cook them in the oven, it's up to you. Just spray some oil, that's all. So let me continue with the rest. So guys, here we are. This is my fish fingers for a little ones. Yes guys, they're not the same as the fish fingers because there is not a whole chunk of fish that eats sewage in there, but I know this fish is super fresh. I know exactly where it came from, and I know there's no sewage in the waters it was fished in. As you can see guys, there's plenty of meals there for a little ones out of that leftover fish. At the same time guys, if you didn't want to make a fish fingers, you could easily take that meat off the fish. And then of course you make the stock, because guess what? With whatever carcass now and the bones we have left, you can make stock. And if you didn't want to use fish fingers, you can use this little meat to make a fish stock, make a broth and make it like a soup. Which at the same time again uses up all of the parts of that fish. For any of you who's wondering guys and thinking, yes, this is not quite a replacement for the fish finger or a fresh fish. Absolutely not, but don't forget we do have a decent fish there, and my little one will eat a fish as it is, provided I make sure that I flake off the pieces and I know there's no bones there. This is just an addition because we all know that little toddlers, they do prefer things in sort of in shapes and sticks and this kind of thing. So this is the reason why I chose to make that. So that's that guys. I really do hope you kind of enjoyed that video. You've been sending many requests of certain things I should be showing you or you would like me to show you. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. It's just purely guys not to teach you how to do the fillet the fish. It's just genuinely I think to give people an idea that you can really do many things with the fresh fish, fresh meats, and just trying to give you maybe somewhat a bit understanding or to show you that it's really not that complicated. Yes, it looks a bit, a bit squeamish, and yes, having a fish in the eyes and things looking at you when you kind of try to fillet it. Yes, it's not apparently the pleasantest of things, but as a prepper, we've got to learn, guys, and we've got to understand, and we have to try to make the best of we can from the things that we get. When things are going to get tougher, like things were due to the rationing, everybody strives to make the best of every single bit. And I think, guys, this is a perfect example of being able to literally make use of every single part of their fish. So if you think we have ourselves fish fillets, we have fish fingers, we have a lovely crispy snack, and then of course we can either have a broth or a soup, which is, I think, absolutely amazing. So thank you very much guys for watching. Please comment down below. If you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. Don't forget thumbs up, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye.